It's almost 10 after. Let's go ahead and start. So I put down approval.
I want to, Jean, if I could, I want to say something first.
Hang on one second,
Okay,
Janet.
okay.
I put on the agenda approval of minutes from July 10th. That's incorrect
Oh,
because
great.
we only had an informal gathering on July 10th because we did not have a quorum. And so if you're missing minutes, don't worry about it, Janet.
Well, okay,
However, do you happen to have minutes from the June meeting?
that's what I wanted to talk about. I
Great.
did, today, no, I don't. Because
Oh.
today I realized that I had June, but not July. And I couldn't, I knew we had canceled some meeting, but I thought maybe it was, nothing made sense. So I watched the whole thing today, yesterday and today, but I never did the minutes. So I will now send you, like in the next 48 hours, I'll send you the meetings from the June meeting. And not worry about the July one.
So Janet,
Yep.
been so long, way back in June, you actually did complete the minutes.
Oh,
Magnolia
I did them?
did them, and
Great.
she's gonna print them out for us.
Okay,
And,
terrific.
and then
Great,
we'll have them on the screen as well.
great.
For
'Cause
me.
I remembered the meeting, but I couldn't remember if I had done the meeting. But then you think there's no need to do June's? Because I can do it.
Already. So you're all set.
That's wonderful.
It is wonderful.
That's wonderful. I spent the whole day today watching the June meeting.
Yeah, and I'm sorry I did call you back, but it was not very long ago, maybe an hour ago.
Oh, no, that's okay. No, it wasn't wasted time. I just sat through the
Yeah.
whole meeting again. It was kind of fun, actually. Okay, great. So I'm in the clear.
Okay, so let's hold um, on the minutes for now. The accessibility plan for Concord. So Jennifer and, Jessica did get that completed, it got submitted, and we just need to wait until, I think, November to find out if we are going to be awarded the grant. And then if we are, we have to very quickly, put together, thank you, Magnolia. We have to very quickly put together an RFP, get somebody on, get the work done, and get the bills paid by the end of June. So, we'll need to be ready to roll once we find out about that. So that's where that stands. Outcomes from the AAB. I think I sent it to you. The Architectural Access Board did approve finally the railing design for the Concord Center for the Arts. So that's all set. It just took a very long time and a lot of back and forth, but that's all set. And I think that Kirsten was really very happy for the input that she got from the commission to help figure that out. I think especially from Jennifer and Peter. So before we talk about potential new members, I want to welcome Justine to our commission. So you are not quite official yet, because the select board has to approve the slate of members. And then you will need to go to the town clerk's office, or we're hoping maybe at the October meeting, the town clerk will come and hear and be able to swear people in. So, but welcome.
Thank
It's
you.
Great to
Yeah,
have
I'm excited to
you.
be here, so thank you.
Good. Hi, Peter, how are you?
Well, I have a cold and I have these coughing fits, so I may just stay on mute the whole time. So I apologize in advance. Otherwise,
Okay.
I'm fine. Sounds like I'm dying of typhoid fever or something.
Oh, well, I'm glad you're not, yeah. But there's a lot of weird stuff going around.
Yes.
For sure. Okay,
Oh.
I'm gonna stay muted.
So we were just introducing Justine, who is a new member with us. Do you want to tell us a little about yourself?
Love to, sure. So my name is Justine Martinelli. My family and I moved to Concord just over 2 years ago. We have my husband and I have a son, Ethan, who's 5 years old, who just started kindergarten at the Row. And yeah, he's loving it. And Ethan was born with a very rare neurological condition. So he experiences global development delays. And ever since he was born, my husband and I have found ourselves as advocates for him. And looking to do our part to contribute to the community to make sure that children, adults, or anyone with a disability like Ethan, grows up in a community that welcomes them and is accessible to them. So really happy to be here. I do work full time. My background is in corporate real estate and finance. So I spent about the past 20 years working in different aspects of global investment real estate. I currently work as a strategy consultant for KPMG, advising global clients on real estate practices. But I also taught finance courses at Bentley University for about 10 years. So as part of my experience in consulting and strategy, lots of experience drafting and responding to RFPs. So hopefully I can lend a hand in that arena, but happy to be here and contribute as best I can.
Wonderful.
Oh,
Well,
terrific.
it's just delightful to have you.
Yes.
Let's do
welcome.
a quick go around. We can do here in the room first and then on screen. If you could introduce yourself.
I'm Meryl Schwartz. I actually helped put together this commission years ago and have stayed with them. They've tolerated my presence, I guess.
Of course, I just took a big
Janet.
bite. Sorry.
Want me?
Yeah.
Sure, go ahead, Janet.
Janet Byer, and hi, and actually I was with Merle when we started this commission. She and Mary Beth went on to be commission members, but I was with them when we started, when Merle had, my husband was one of the authors of what's called the Red Book in Massachusetts. I think it's called the Red Book, is that right, Jane? It has all the rules about the ADA. And he did a disability law. And so I've been sort of immersed in it for I was immersed in it for about 25 years, which doesn't give me any leg up, but it means that I was interested in it. And now I'm using a walker, and I really appreciate what the commission does, and welcome. Okay,
Thank
Pete.
you.
Yes, welcome, Justine. I'm Peter Nobley. I'm an architect in Boston. I work at Bergmeyer, mostly commercial, non-residential work. That's been most of my career, and I'm happy to be here. So this is my third year on the commission. I know just enough to be dangerous about everything about accessibility.
Well, you know a lot, Peter. We really rely on you. We really rely on you and Jennifer for your expertise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We try to get it right.
So I'm Jean Goldsberry. I chair the commission, and I think actually I've chaired it since the very beginning.
Yeah.
Mostly because nobody else wants it.
Well, mostly because you're best at it.
There's someone else who'd like to chair, please? Nobody wants it. I'm also the CEO at Minuteman Arc. So you know, working with people with developmental disabilities all day, every day is my job and my calling. I just feel blessed to be part of Minuteman Arc.
I'm Karen Young, and I also have a son named Ethan. However, he is going to be 30, believe it or not, in
Is he
October.
really?
Yes. So, we have a daughter also, but my son Ethan has developmental disabilities, and that's my interest in being here and seeing him become part of the community. So it's been very rewarding in many ways to see how he's progressed, and he lives on his own now and has 2 jobs, and he's a really happy guy.
Amazing.
And yeah, so, and I've been a member for quite a while. I don't know how long. In my other life, I'm a retired librarian. I was a librarian at Harvard University in the Graduate School of Education, and now I spend most of my days volunteering at Open Table.
That's nice.
So, wonderful.
And with West Concord Green Thumb.
And with West Concord Green.
Green
Thumb,
Thumb,
that's right,
yes.
yes, absolutely.
Okay, so we're happy to have you.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Good. Okay, so potential new members. I wrote to Carrie LaFleur in the middle of July, and I gave her the list of members because everyone who's currently a member wanted to continue on the commission and had good reason why. So I wrote her a letter about that, sent it in an email to her, and I heard nothing. So then about a month later, at the beginning of August, I pulled up that email and resent it and just said, you know, I hope you have a chance to read the letter. And I didn't hear anything. And so at the beginning of September, I thought we're getting close to our meeting. I pulled the letter up again and resent the email, and I still didn't hear anything. So a couple of days later, I called her office, and I think I was pretty polite, but her admin assistant knew that I really wasn't very happy that there was no response, no reply, not even a got your message, I'm working on it, I'll get back to you, anything. So she called me back or emailed me back, and she and I have had several email exchanges about the membership of the commission. And you know, why members who were on the commission should continue on the commission, and her desire and you know, she, to a good point, to open it up to new members, to new people, get some new blood. Certainly, Justine, you're new on the commission. So finally, just this afternoon, Carrie and I met, and at one point, the only continuing members that she had on the list was Karen, you and myself. And then Justine, you of course is a new member, but no one else. And so we met and kind of went through, you know, who's there, why we need them, so forth. And so the people that she is recommending to the select board to continue as members. There are just 5 people. Jennifer Brook, who's not here this evening, I'm sure you'll meet her, you saw her when you came to talk about the playground. Karen, Jennifer and Karen would both have terms that go through 2028. Janet, you would have a term expiring in 2026, as would I.
Next
And-
year?
Yes, yeah,
Wow.
at town meeting next year.
I don't like that.
And Peter, your term would be through 27.
Okay,
Meryl, I'm sorry. You weren't on you weren't one of the original members that she wanted to have continue.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
she didn't, okay.
Yeah, I tried
Uh-huh.
getting everyone because, you know, you expressed interest. And, oh, thank you. And, Lloyd had expressed interest,
Mhm.
but. You know, she felt really strongly, we need some new blood,
Mhm.
so.
Who is that, Jean? Who is it?
So there've been a number of applications, or they were called green cards in the past, that have been submitted. And well, let me shut the door completely here. Can you turn off the recording for a minute? Ooh,
Where is it? Up in the top right-hand corner.
oh, there, thank you. So the people the new people that she's going to recommend come on are Robert Simon, who I believe has some, hearing loss. And he would be able to sort of be in the same kind of position that Bob was. In terms of kind of representing that disability group. Andrew Kilpatrick, I do not know him, and I had not seen his application. But she said he has somewhat of a mobility impairment, and his wife also has a disability. And then Laura Will, and I don't know anything more about Laura Will. However, I can send you all their applications, so you'll see them and have a chance to learn a little bit about them. Carrie plans um, to make this or present the slate to the select board. They are the ones who ultimately make the decision, though, you know, I think that when Carrie recommends people for a commission or a committee, that, you know, unless there's some reason the select board approves them. So she's going to, submit that to the select board for their October 6th meeting. And that would mean that people would be approved by the select board before our next meeting. And we'd actually be back to a full set of 9 members, which is good because we're down to 5 or 6, and then it's hard to get a quorum here. So I think that will be a huge benefit.
Jean, just for everyone's benefit,
Yeah.
Laura Will resides obviously in Concord. She also has a son at Thoreau. She did speak in front of this committee. She also joined to speak to the playground.
Oh, okay,
Alright.
great. Okay, so
and-
we've seen her.
Yeah, and she also, just for everybody's benefit, so she has a son that's disabled, but she's also a nurse and she practiced in palliative care, so she
Great.
has a lot of experience in caring for that population,
Mhm.
so just sharing that.
Wonderful,
Yeah.
wonderful. And we have had a nurse in the past, like a long time ago. So it'll be nice to have someone with
Yeah.
that expertise
Great, yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, we'll have a pretty broad variety, not every disability, of course. You know, at one point, we had a member who had a pretty significant visual impairment. But when she resigned from the board after several years, we haven't found someone to sort of be a representative for that. So, but I think overall, we try to be as inclusive as we can in terms of disabilities. So that's where things stand with membership. It was quite a lot of back and forth with Carrie this
Mm.
week. about the membership, and then at the meeting today. Cause I came in not super happy with only 2 old members on and potentially 7 new people. There's no ability to really mentor new members at all, which it's hard to mentor on Zoom, but still, at least there's somebody you can call who's been on it for a while and ask and so forth. So,
There was, so I'm assuming there were other volunteers who were not
right,
selected.
right.
Will those people be notified? Or do they just?
Never hear.
Never hear, because one of them is someone I know, and I
Okay.
was just wondering what the
I
procedure.
don't know
would
if Carrie will do an official notification. If
be.
not,
She might ask me, that's why I'm.
yeah,
curious.
yeah.
Okay.
You know, it's certainly not a secret.
Yeah.
If you wanna let her know, but that's a really good point. We probably should let the other applicants know that the commission is filled at this
Open up.
point. However, if they continue to be interested, we consider them at another point.
Well, that might make sense, given that some of these are rolling, because
Right.
the person I know told me that she did have a phone call from Carrie, who
Mhm.
asked if she might be interested in a 1-year
Mhm.
position or some.
Yeah,
So. Okay, there's been some discussion, I don't
yeah,
wanna.
yes,
Step
there
on
has.
it a lot.
Yeah.
Okay,
So, yeah, and, you know, Carrie figured it out so that there will be 3 members who, whose terms will be up in 26,
okay.
3 in
So-
27, and 3 in 28, so it's not a
All new.
turnover.
Okay.
Yeah. So that makes a lot of sense.
What, may I just ask, in terms of structure,
Yeah.
why she is the one that determines who
Well,
is
she's the,
selected?
yeah, she's the town manager,
Right,
and I think, you know, I think she felt like she wanted to, again, bring some new blood into the commission. And,
mhm,
you know, she has to make the recommendation to the select board, so
mhm,
if she's not in favor of something, you know, certainly I can go and appear and comment or whatever, but I would think the select board is gonna listen pretty strongly to the
Right,
town
right.
manager.
Do you think she has a good sense of what our mission is and what we're doing?
I think so.
Mhm. I'm just,
Yeah, yeah, I mean,
Asking that.
when, you know, as I said, there were a bunch of emails that went back and forth, but when we met, she was pretty respectful. I mean, starting the meeting, we had somewhat of a difference of opinion, but, she was pretty respectful and listened and, you know. But what you might do, Meryl, because there'll be 3 people ending in 26, fill out another card and get, no, I'm serious, I'm serious. Fill out another card and get your name back in the pool. Cause I know at least one of the people that's not selected was like, well, you know, she wasn't sure if she really wanted to be on the commission.
mhm,
So, and there weren't that many new cards, there were, I don't know, 5 maybe, so.
mhm. Well, I sure hope that the people who were selected will be enthusiastic
I hope
about
so
coming
too, I hope so too.
and make appearances.
Right, yeah, yeah, I hope so too, certainly over the years, you've put a lot of effort into that.
Well, not recently, but certainly, initially,
Mhm.
but, I've been sort of resting on my laurels. So
Well, you've got a lot of laurels to
Oh,
rest
no,
on.
no. But, no, it's of course still, dear to my heart.
Yeah.
And, I am not, I mean, I certainly am not upset about it. I can understand
Mhm.
the rationale. I still do have a question about whether we as a commission are independent and can make decisions independent of the town. And it's always been fuzzy, at least in my mind, as to where, who has really the governance of the commission. If are we, if we're state mandated, then I just sort of wonder how the town, and I don't wanna say controls, but oversees what we do. And I feel like we're sort of trying to assume the role of a committee that's run by the town, but in fact, we don't have that much allegiance to the town in terms of what we're trying to accomplish. I mean, we're certainly part of Concord, but other towns have, I think, structured their commission in different ways. And I'm not sure she understands exactly our history or our mandate as clearly as we do.
Well, of course, I mean,
And I'm
we've
sure-
been living it for all these years.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that frustrates me. It goes back to the origin of the creation of the commission. And
Yeah,
because of that, it's somewhat bothersome to me, not personally. I mean,
yeah, no, I hear you, and, when we first started, we were a committee, not a
Yes.
commission. And then we had to get approval from the state, and then it had to go to town meeting for us to make the change to be a commission. So now we've got sort of a foot in both worlds, the town and the state. It's all
it
complicated
is
that
very complicated.
on a day-to-day basis doesn't really
Matter.
make a whole lot of difference in what we
Right.
do, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm nitpicking. And in a sense, it's irrelevant to what we do, but on the face of it, we want people who are committed
Oh,
To-
absolutely.
to our basic you know premise, which is, to make life more accessible to
Yeah.
anybody who has a disability. So
Yeah.
I've said my piece.
Thank you.
Sorry.
No, you're absolutely right. Yeah, Janet,
I was curious about Merrill. Merrill, do you see us as kind of being a watchdog on the town and being able to being our job to not overrule them, but at least butt against them?
In some respects, yes, I do feel like that's the role of an independent commission, to be able to say, perhaps Concord isn't doing as well as they think they are. And, there may be some things that can be improved, as we have found. And, when we're a committee, having to always, get the approval of the town manager has always been an issue in my mind. Because it takes our control away. We have very little real power in a sense. We have no enforcement of anything other than to be able to work with, you know, in the town or people who have had issues with disability.
Yeah, I think where our real power lies is our communications with the AAB. Because regardless, well, not totally regardless, but even if there were a difference of opinion between the town and the commission in terms of an AAB application, the AAB would look to the commission because we are set to be the experts
That's
and the
true.
boots on the ground for the AAB.
Right, right. Right. Yeah, in that respect,
Yes, yeah.
there is.
I would offer one other thing. I think I really appreciate your service. And I wish there was some way to do like an emeritus status, frankly, because we have found this to be true. I used to sit on the Historic District Commission. Same thing happened. Somebody's been on the commission for a long time. They've got a huge body of experience and expertise, and all of a sudden they're off. So I think there's got to be some way to keep our hooks in you, frankly. But the other thing is, I do think it's our responsibility. Yes, we have a kind of charter, a charge, and all that good stuff. But we also, each of us represents different facets of the disabled or the community, however you want to look at it. And I think it's our job to represent the town, frankly, and put up a stink when a stink needs to be made. So in a nice way, you know, we can always sugarcoat it and put it on letterhead and all that good stuff. But you know, I think that's our role is to be the, you know, the filter for the town. So anyway, just saying.
Yeah, yeah. And we have one more member who just joined us, Jennifer Brook. Jennifer, Justine is new. Would you introduce yourself to Justine?
Course, I really apologize, and then I ran into technical issues. I'm sorry. Yes, hi Justine. My name is Jennifer Brook. And let's see. Briefly, I am one of the founding members of the committee that has become a commission. Meryl cornered me when I was taking my youngest, who's about to go to college, into her preschool classroom. That's how long we've all been at this. Like, context helps. You know, you think, oh, it's only been like however many years, but you're like, holy crap! A whole human grew up in the time that we've been on this board. And that was that. And so I've been here ever since. I run a landscape architecture office in Concord, and as a professional career, I have a lot of overlap with the kind of empirical aspects of accessibility. I have a son. I have 3 children. My youngest is the one who is in preschool. My son, who is now 18, I can't believe that either, is disabled. He is deaf, profoundly deaf. He is completely blind, and he uses the wheelchair. So it gives myself and my family some fairly unique perspective on what accessibility really means. So that's what I try to do, bring all of that perspective, professional and personal, to the commission.
Wonderful. Looking forward to working with you, Jennifer. Thanks for the
Same,
intro.
same.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Same.
Okay. Mimi Garvey has been patiently waiting behind the scenes here to talk to us a little bit about Age-Friendly Concord, and the best practices toolkit, which certainly has a significant overlap with people with disabilities.
Hello, everybody. I'm the Economic Vitality Manager for the town. Meryl in particular was very active, and Janet in the early parts, and this whole committee when we first initiated this. So Age-Friendly Concord was a designation that the town got back in 2019, but then didn't do a lot of work for it because the pandemic hit and everything fell apart. So as part of my role, I've been reviving that. So I've been sort of being a little opportunistic. So when other projects come in, I try to shoehorn age friendliness into it. So being age friendly has a bunch of different components, as folks can probably imagine. It's really about making all kinds of aspects of the town more accommodating to older adults. So that might be affordable housing, housing that's walkable, that you don't need a car to get to, that's on one level. It could be job workplace policies that are more accommodating. It could be more accessible businesses. It's multi-dimensional, but the couple pieces I've been kind of pulling out. One is how to make our public realm more accommodating to seniors. So as part of the 250th, I took out to get more benches in Concord Center. So we got a whole set of age-friendly benches, which have got sturdy arms and nice comfortable backs, and right on the right-of-way. They're not fully ADA accessible because sometimes it's that our sidewalks are already so narrow. So I'm not letting the, was it the perfect be the enemy of the good, but did the best we could. The other part of it was I got a grant from the state to do an age-friendly business toolkit. So we did outreach to the businesses. We developed sort of a checklist that had things like how easy is the door handle, not like a twisty one, but with more of a handle. Is it like easy to open? Is it clear where the door is? Are the aisles wide? Are the shelves, you know, do you have to not reach too high or go too low? So it kind of looks at lots of different things for the business. So we created a toolkit, and right now it's on the town's website. It's gone out to all the businesses in Concord. So it's kind of reaching its intended audience. And as a way, there was a little bit of money left in the grant, and actually I'm enlisting Jean in this opportunity. The funder kind of was, I wanted to do something practical that would kind of actually engage seniors in a different way. And the funder's like, no, you can only use it in a very narrow way, but they would let me do a promotional video. So the Massachusetts AARP director of their livable communities and a bunch of the businesses. So yesterday and next week, we're going out and actually showcasing the different businesses that seniors had said were age friendly. So we're doing like a little promotional video. So it's going to be about 4 minutes, and it's going to showcase some of the businesses that people liked, showing off how they are age friendly. And then it's kind of a little promotional of like, older people should come and live and visit Concord because this is how awesome we are. So just to give you a little sense of what we've done is yesterday we were at the Concord Museum, interviewed them, the head of AARP, and then Nancy Alam, who was one of the seniors that worked with Meryl and myself with the business outreach. Then we went to Vanderhoof's, we went to Concord Bookstore, we went to Barrow, we went out and we met the chamber president, and then next week it's going to be Orchard House. Where else we're going? Going to Crosby's, Deborah's, a couple other places in West Concord. And then basically because the funding is always like, you have to get it by this deadline. I have to basically get it done by the end of September. So you'll be getting to probably look at it at your next meeting. But wanted to thank Jean for, Jean's one of the other people we're interviewing, and Jean and Dan from the Senior Center. So to kind of put that context. So it's a lot of people that are going to fit into 4 minutes, but that's kind of like the capstone of the project. And I don't like the work of the Disability Commission. It's like the work is never really done, but that's kind of like a little bookend on that particular part, and hoping to continue on as we go as I carry on my work.
So Mimi, can you tell us so that we get it into the minutes, what the link is or how people navigate from the town's website to get to that, that questionnaire, that age-friendly Concord?
So it's part of, it on the main town website, across the top, it has a for businesses section. So it's one of the resources for businesses. And it's part of what I put out, to individual businesses. I'm right now in the midst of kind of creating a like, oh, you want to start a business in Concord? What are the steps? It's going to be part of the thing. So the same way where folks, go and figure out what they need for their sewer and their electrical, this will be part of the things that they think about with operating their business.
Great, great. So the toolkit's pretty easy to access.
Yeah, probably not quite as easy as I would like. It's kind of just within a whole lot of other business things. But I think that's why I'm excited about this video, is it's a way of kind of calling attention to it again, to draw people to look at it.
Great.
Next question.
Yeah.
Does the toolkit specifically cater to their like brick and mortar businesses, or does it extend tips to kind of online retail, that they might offer?
It has it has some small things. It's a pretty simple kind of checklist that is like the core of the toolkit, but it has things like if people call your business, that you don't go to like a pre-recorded phone tree, that you have it use fonts that are clear, greatly encouraging folks to have like other ways of being able to serve their customers. So it's mostly brick and mortar, because the primary audience is the brick and mortar businesses in Concord. But just kind of highlighting the idea of being age friendly, we're hoping that it'll draw people to it. We did kind of highlight as part of our outreach to people to think about their business practices. So both thinking about how they market their business. So like if you're showing people with your products, not just showing, cute 23-year-olds, but like people of all ages. Showing people with different abilities, thinking about hiring older workers, having employment practices that allow time off if you're a caretaker, just thinking about it more, that there's lots of ways to be age friendly, even because I think sometimes people are like, I'm going to step in front of my business, there's nothing I can do. And we were really trying to highlight all the things that people could do.
Great. And how
Yeah.
will this video be distributed, or like who's going to know that it's there to look at it?
So we're going to put it on YouTube. AARP has got a Livable Communities website, so I'm hoping that they might give us some traction. There's like a whole Livable Communities network that they're connected with. So I'm hoping to get through that. And because I'm kind of going in on the tourism angle a little bit, I'm hoping it can be on Visit Concord and go through like that network of promotional. And I'll put it on the town website, and hope to kind of kick it in different ways. I'll probably do a push right when it first comes out, and then hope to find different ways to renew the audience along the way.
Great, good. Janet, did you have a question?
It's just a simple question. I'm just curious about, to Mimi, about which businesses did you find to be particularly user-friendly?
Well, it's so interesting because we did that survey, folks might remember, which I think is like maybe 2 years ago now, time flies. And folks like raved about, they loved Vanderhoofs.
Vanderhoofs is great. It's inaccessible, but they'll bring the stuff to your car.
Exactly. So as it is, when we shot the video, we had to be inside, just tucked inside the front door because we couldn't even get all the camera equipment in there. And that was what we ended up telling a lot of the story, was about that customer service and that like getting to know people and being a welcoming environment and that sort of personal connection and relationships. We talked about that kind of being the real strength. Concord's willingness to go the extra mile. You can have the most accessible place, but then if the people at the front desk at the cash register aren't helping you, it's no good. So that was one that people talked about. People really liked Crosby's. People like the West Concord Pharmacy. On the website, I've got like the results of the survey that dug into like what people's favorite places were. But there's some of what you might think is the usual suspects. that people liked. When we actually went and did the site visits, it was really interesting to me, because one of the amenities folks asked a lot about was restrooms, and finding some of the businesses did a really good job about making accessible restrooms. Like Deborah's in particular, it was like easy to find it, really brightly lit. You know, I don't have the finesse to know if it was properly handicapped accessible, but with their limited ability, you know, just it's an old building and all kinds of things. I was really impressed that they devoted a lot of square footage to the business to make sure that was available.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Mimi? Comments?
Oh, one other thing about the benches is not only is Concord Center got benches, but West Concord is getting a couple benches. We did Jean took part in this too. We did a walk around for benches in West Concord. So they were just delivered earlier this week. There'll be a bench in front of the West Village Tavern, and there'll be another one at the Poetry Phone. And I'm in the midst of, we couldn't find, we've got the other spots are on private property. And I need to both secure funding and permission from the property owners, but we've got 2 to get us started.
Good, good. Well, and hopefully that'll
Yeah.
grow a little bit.
That's a nice.
Yeah, hopefully some of the property owners will want to
Mhm.
install benches as well.
Yeah.
Probably a good way to get people to loiter in front of your business.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, Jennifer.
I just want to tell Mimi, I sat on one of those benches today, and ate my lunch. It was the bench that's right outside of Provision near the Concord rail station.
Oh, good.
Yep. And, you know, people might think, hopefully not, but people might think, oh, it's, you know, benches. They're meaningful. They really are meaningful. They create a place to sit and take a load off for sure, especially for those of us that were out there that might need a break. But so if you sit there, especially the one at Provisions, you know, the plaque is there, the 250 plaque is on the bench. And 3 separate parties stopped to say something. So if you're looking for community engagement, just sit on a bench and you never know who you'll meet. So
Yeah.
I was glad it was there, and I remember the bench from before, and it wasn't as nice as the bench that's there now. So I really appreciate them being out there, and I love the idea of adding more.
Oh, thank you. We were talking the other day about how both that survey of how often seniors talked about coming to the downtown every single day, because it is about social connection being in the neighborhood. And sometimes, you know, the business owners, they're trying to run their business, and it's sort of like you can still be part of the thick of things in a comfortable spot out and get a little fresh air and see your neighbors. And, you know, there's mental health aspects, there's economic vitality, there's public safety aspects. Like a bench is like the wonder drug to my mind. So I'm glad it was working for you yesterday, Jennifer.
Yes, yes.
Great.
Well, Mimi, thank you for your work on all of this, for getting the benches, for putting together the questionnaires and
Yes.
and certainly the project working on this video. That's a big project. So thank you for your work. Thank you for coming and sharing that with us. And I look forward to seeing you next week.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mimi.
Okay. So the only other thing on our agenda is just more of a reminder, and I'll put it on actually next month's agenda as well, so that people can be reminded again. This Meeting the Moment Community Hearing and Resource Fair coming up. It's not until November 4th at Needham Town Hall, but it's meant to be for commissions on disabilities from all around the area. So, you know, I'm hoping we can get a few people from our commission to go to that, find out about other resources that are available and connect with other commissions. So, other things, anyone? Other comment? Yeah, Jennifer.
So do you think that we could put the amenities building on our agenda to just have a conversation about at our next meeting?
Yes.
The context for that request is not so much the building itself and the project itself. It's some of the editorial opinions that I read in the Bridge
Mm-hmm.
about the project that struck a chord and has me a little worried about perspective in the
Mhm.
community of disability and those that need support and those of us out here who appreciate accessibility.
Mhm.
So I just think it would be a wise idea to have a conversation about some of the things that have arisen as a result of the project, and if there are any strategies that this commission can think through about how to, I don't know, if there are strategies that might improve, or at least might educate or demonstrate or validate some of the things that we're doing in this commission and the needs of the community, in the disability community in Concord. So anyway, that was my context.
Absolutely. I'll put that on the agenda, and I'm kind of thinking, there's the PR and the public's perceptions or misperceptions about people with disabilities and the disability community and what's needed and what's important. But there's also now what happens in terms of an amenities building. So maybe I'll reach out to the one or two of the people that were on the committee to get that onto the town meeting, and see if they would be able to come and talk a little bit about that as well. Okay, thank you. Janet.
Just FYI, I had 3 friends for coffee on Saturday morning, and the 3 of them were, the one thing that we were talking about just stuff in general, but this came up, and the 3 of them said, I am absolutely not going to vote for that. We don't need to spend another blah, blah, blah on a school. We've already spent this on the Thoreau School, and now they're asking us for more money for this amenities building. And these 3 people are very, I hate to use the word liberal, but they don't mind. In fact, one of them, you all know one of them. They're on our side and everything, but they don't see the spending of money for this. And one of them has said, well, they can put up a few of the really good buildings and everything else can be the haul in, haul out ones. It really was just beyond their vision why we could want that much money for this building. And I couldn't explain it to them, so. So when are they going to vote on that again?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if there's even an intent to vote on it again.
I thought it was going up because they misstated the price on the vote. They had
Oh.
$1 million extra on the vote.
Okay, well.
There was a mistake. So they voted, the people who were voting for more money than they thought, than was actually the case.
That was
Okay.
for the early voters. There was a correction that was sent out before the in-person.
Oh, was
vote.
it?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
I guess I must have gotten
but
that.
you're right.
I wonder how many people saw it.
Yeah,
Who really,
Had misinformation.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll reach out to a person or two from that committee and see if they can join us and let us know where things stand.
Is it your impression that they're going to vote on it again? I thought we were.
I don't know. I hadn't heard that. Yeah,
No.
Jennifer.
Sorry, Janet, I don't know either about that. All I know is that by not endorsing it, Concord opens itself to lawsuit from
Oh, absolutely.
from the AAB. All it would take is an individual from Concord to alert the AAB and file a case, right? And so, but I don't know if this commission wants to take the amenities building on as a topic. I'm a little worried that if we sink our teeth into it, that it will dehydrate us all before and it will not leave us any room. I don't think that means we should avoid it, but I think in my bringing it up, I was more concerned about some of the rhetoric around the money that accessibility costs and the few people who need this and the most people who have to pay, around the abject misunderstanding of what of people's needs in Concord, and how I do worry that the general national malaise around people who are different is not going to help the situation at all. So even the places that we could look to that would enforce and support civil rights around disability and access, I don't know if everyone trusts that even those would stand up in the end. And so I don't know if that approach, a kind of more aggressive approach, is really the right one versus, I think, a commission that has, as you said, Jean, its boots on the ground, has an opportunity to humanize and personalize disability in a way to our community that will hopefully, I'm not Pollyanna about this, I don't think it's going to fix the problem, but it might hopefully make people more aware of why buildings like the amenities building are important, not just from a functional perspective, but also just from a community support and just our whole attitude towards making spaces available for everyone. So that would just be my thought. I don't want to get, like I said, too caught up in the amenities building details. If we want to deal with that, that's okay. But I think the thing where we could be more effective, the place where we could be more effective, is maybe in thinking about how we engage our fellow citizen as a commission around disability.
Well, yeah, I think you're right, and it wasn't my intent to have people come and then we're gonna go out and rally for the building, but to get, let's find out, is there gonna be a second vote on it because of the misinformation? Do they have another plan? Do they have a plan B for this? And just to try to gather the information so that we know. And absolutely, the discussion really is around, people's perspective of individuals with disability and people being devalued and unimportant.
I personally don't think it was really a reflection on the disability aspect of the building. I really think it was simply that it sounded like such an extravagant number, such an extravagant building in general. Why did it have to be so big?
Expensive.
And expensive. And that, other towns have not put up a huge facility. I don't really think that people were focusing on, and maybe I have it wrong, but I don't think they were focusing on, the need to provide you know, a disability, you know, toilet facility. I don't think that, it even entered people's minds. I think they were so just overwhelmed by, you know, the hugeness of this project, you know, it just seemed like it was out of character.
Yeah, Peter,
Well, Janet, did you want to say something? You had your hand up before.
If I did, I've forgotten.
Okay, as long as I'm not interrupting you.
Oh, go ahead.
Feel free to interrupt me. I think you're right. I think partly there's just misperception. I think it's the bigger picture that Jennifer that you're talking about. I think is partly the lack of trust in public process. People just don't believe anything, really. They don't know who's telling the truth. They feel like things are kind of being shoved down their throat, that sort of thing. I think the conversation, if we could proceed with grace, it would be about how welcoming are we as a town, right? It's not just about backstop. This is about, well, you know, we could tell stories, you know, so-and-so's grandparents want to come to the football game. Grandpa's got multiple sclerosis. He can't walk very well, you know, that kind of thing. I think humanizing and not just saying, well, you know, whatever. I used to walk uphill both ways to school in the snow with used shoes. That's not very useful. So I think I think you're right. It's about humanizing it and putting it in perspective and context and just hopefully staying out of the fray of the money and who's did what. And I mean, they blew it public relations wise for sure. So
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you know who's on that committee? I have no idea.
I don't, but I'm gonna find out.
I mean, I wonder if it's
You
anybody.
dig it up.
It doesn't really matter because we're in favor of the committee. We're just not in favor of the vote.
I didn't understand your question, Janet.
Oh, no, it's okay. I was just scrambling.
Oh. All right. So I think we're down to the end of the meeting here. Unless anyone has anything further that needs discussion tonight. Janet,
But is it true now that I don't owe you any minutes?
well, you'll owe minutes from tonight.
Oh, but except for tonight, yeah. But I don't know, July is,
Otherwise, you're all
what
set.
happened to July? Did we meet in July?
We met, but it was a very informal meeting. And
I've always done the minutes for those. I've always written up what we talked about. Was it recorded? Because I can do it and I just won't make
I
it.
don't know, I can check with Jessica.
Yeah, she can send it to me. I mean, I kind of have, it's really kind
Yeah,
of,
she had another meeting she had to be at tonight, so. The lovely Magnolia is here to help us out. Thank you, thank you.
Of course, I think Jess sent something to Janet when she asked about
Oh,
that
okay.
for the recording, but
Okay,
there's not much in there.
yeah,
oh, for the
Okay.
July meeting.
Yes, yeah,
There's
and
not
then Janet, I sent you a copy of the minutes that you prepared for the June 5, if you are going to
I
approve
got
it.
the June one and I watched that whole meeting again because I thought that's what I owed. So
yeah,
I sat through that twice, but it was fun. You're all good company.
yeah,
But I'll look at the, I'll look at, you know, if you would send that to me, I'll look at the July ones. And
okay.
just do a little.
Alright.
wrap up.
So then we'll have some minutes to approve at the next meeting.
Well, and
The
these, and
times-
these.
We
yeah.
won't have to approve July. We didn't meet in
Okay,
August.
but
We
you
will
can
have to
just tell you
approve
what we
tonight's minutes
Yeah.
at our next meeting, which is, just had it up. October 9th, the second Thursday of the month. Okay. So I will see you all on October 9th.